G'day folks, here is the situation at the end of the third turn, 3 a.m. On the 17th of December. So we're at midday on the 17th. I've gone through the night turn of the first day and then the AM turn of the second day. So we're in effect 3 turns in. I mentioned in the last video that the second turn was horrific for the Germans, but the night turn and then the AM turn was back to their good fortune. The night turn was very focused. Basically, all those night stacks plus Kampfgruppe Piper focused on this area here. I think it was really only 2 or 3 hexes in this little area, just even on the southern end of Elsenborn Ridge, which you can see there are no Americans there anymore. The reason for this is the focused effort of these units cleared out the Americans. And then in the AM turn, basically all these first Panzer units were brought in, and they had a great series of D1 asterisk results. This is the best result that you can get on these tables. D1 asterisk gives them bonus advance and a breakthrough combat. And it was at a critical point here. You can see, in fact, this is where the units were able to advance to, because they were able to eliminate the kind of Americans and then advance 3 hexes. So they're up to here. This is the most advanced unit of Kampfgruppe Piper. And I'll show you a map of what this looked like before the American turn. But basically they had clear open road, and they had this clear plans to drive through to Stavelot and Trois-Rivières, which is, well, Spa's up here. Trapont, sorry, not Trois-Rivières, Trapont here. And a clear corridor through here, wide open gap in the American lines. And then we had the American turn where they rush on their reinforcements. Their engineers arrive, as you can see. Engineers basically placed in any town or city hex outside enemy zones of control. The placement of the German grief markers was designed to prevent these American reinforcements rushing in. And it was somewhat successful. It slowed down these units coming in from the side. The idea was to drive through Malmedy. There's a bridge here. There's no town there, just a bridge across this river and another road here, and drive through Stavelot towards Schrupp. This was going to be my sort of focus point for that concentrated drive through this corridor. And then the American reinforcements arrived, of course, and the engineers basically go anywhere, and you've got these fast moving armored units coming in from the north, and they quite easily blocked that gap. But certainly the Germans gaining some ground. Keep in mind, this is just the second day, and we're almost at Malmedy. Yeah, so they did this through this series of great die rolls. Once again, back to their original form. First turn was great, second turn horrific, third turn great once again. It is a back and forth swings of luck in this game. We did have all these units on Schnee Eifel surrender. They're all green, so they accumulated their final surrender point. This unit here is now isolated, small American unit here. And there's another outer supply unit way out on the left down here, but they got an airdrop and succeeded. The Germans also had some success out here. You can see how they've isolated this unit here. They eliminated, I think it was 2 units. There was one here and one, here in Diekirch. They were able to surround these units. This one was lucky to survive. Surround these units, lock them in with ZOC hex-side bonds, and then force a retreat. And that is critical to eliminating these units. I will point out, so we eliminated 4 Americans in the first turn, 1 in the second turn, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units in this third turn. Very, very impressive. 2 from out there, and then 3 from here, so 5, and then I think there may have been 6, 7, 8 around this area. Again, those D1 results. I think I got, from memory, 2, maybe even 3 D1 results in that AM combat. The night turn cleared the roads. In the AM turn, I moved through wrapped around. It's a very narrow corridor through here. I just had these kind of roads through here. Couldn't get far. Just really around this area here. If you can go back over the map, it was around Bullingen and what is this place called? Heppenbach. So very narrow corridors. They pushed through, broke it open, and had a small exploitation there. Now, the Americans here are voluntarily pulling back from Elsinborn Bridge. You can see they don't want to be cut off from supply, but they are in trouble. They can very, very narrowly draw, I think, a supply line through there. 4 overland hexes to a road hex, and they're okay. But they are trying to pull back. This unit has moved. Others have moved. Yeah, try and get off there and retreat before they get cut off. What else is happening? Look, the Germans are firing a lot of artillery. So you can see all the artillery fired markers. They don't have much left. They're about to get 3 back, of course. We did have the von der Heydt drop. They dropped over here behind American lines, just behind the American lines. The main purpose of them, they did suffer a step loss, which is pretty good. It's a 50% chance of being eliminated, 1% chance of surviving in full, and, sorry, 1% chance, a 1 in 6 chance, and then a 2 in 6 of getting a step loss. So they're happy there, blocking this pretty important primary road. It stops the Americans coming around and reinforcing Clervaux here, and Asselborn and driving down here. Yeah, so pretty happy with their placement there. It forces the Americans to either, if they're crossing, sort of, this is the road to Bastogne, if they want to cross east-west here, to use these secondary roads, which are very, very costly, or go the long way through Bastogne. Heck, these guys can even move to, potentially to Bastogne. Good news for the Germans also is that we've had, the roadblocks still exist, but a subtle change in traffic. We've got a clear road through here. The road has cleared across the Duisburg Bridge. We've got some more bridges which will be repaired in just a moment. Some others have completed their repairs out in the west along here, and not a lot of other bridge blowing activity. I think the Americans failed to blow a bridge. I think they tried and they failed from memory. So yeah, some bridges intact. And no step losses for the Germans on this turn that I can recall. So they've gone through the night turn and the AM turn without a step loss. Having said that, no American counterattacks yet. The Americans are still kind of reeling, pulling back. They do have some very good defensive positions. So Saint-Vit has a nice stack of 8 still. The cavalry there was reinforced by that very, very strong armoured unit. Probably dangerous to do this, given they're a really capable offensive unit, but that's what I've done anyway. To really hold Saint-Vit and stop the Americans, the Germans, sorry, linking east versus west. Saint-Vit is this very vital crossroad here. To get past it, the Germans have to go off-road or really circle all the way back here, which they don't want to do, and they're not going to do. What else? This is what the Germans are most keen about. This first SS Panzer Corps driving through towards Malmedy. They can reach Malmedy on the very next turn. That should be on top. But they're in a position here where they can go south towards Saint-Vit. They can go southwest and drive towards Vilsam. They can head directly west towards Malmedy and Stavelot, fighting along the way. They can cross these intact bridges and potentially drive towards Hertogen Woods up here. Hertogen Woods and Verviers up here. What this does is it puts the Allies in a really difficult position where they can't defend everything. They will struggle to defend everything. The American strategy has been, they're increasingly focused on ZOC bonds. So you can see throughout here we have a very strong ZOC bond. So the Germans can't move through these areas. And all of these areas, the Americans are well placed in good defensive terrain. So they not only had ZOC bonds, but these units are in good defensive terrain with, in most cases, at least a +2 combat defense modifier. +2, bonds, bonded here. There's a bit of a gap here. Bond, and so forth. So yeah, the Americans have a pretty good defensive position, and it's now the start of the fourth turn. It is the 17th of December, the PM turn. I'll report back soon.